We all know this feeling when you've got too much to do or when you've put up taking your lunch break and your blood sugar takes a dive. This narrows your focus to your immediate lag, to the sandwich you've got to have now, to the meeting that's starting in 5 minutes, or the bills that have to be paid by tomorrow. So the long-term perspective goes out the window. You could compare this to a new computer that's running 10 heavy programs at once. It gets slower and slower, making errors. Eventually it freezes. Not because it's a bad computer, but because it has to do too much at once. This is the problem we are facing in the healthcare industry and many other industries at large. People are not making bad decisions because they're bad, but because they're completely burnt out and living in a context in which anyone would make bad decisions.
A burnt out brain is one of the scariest things you will ever see. Like if you look at someone who's been like PTSD or sexual assault or domestic violence or some of these other things, and the trauma portion of those and how that affects your brain, and you put that next to a burnt out brain, they're almost identical. So like the center of your brain, the corpus callosum that connects the two halves of your brain shrinks. Your white matter, you have less white matter. A burnt out brain has less white matter, which is crazy. White matter is what allows your brain to send signals back and forth. Burnout, which is really like a lot of stress, also increases the aging process. Your memory is worse, because your hippocampus, where your memory center of your brain, starts to degrade as well, just like it does in Alzheimer's. Like when you look at Alzheimer's brain and a burnout brain, again, super similar because it's all about inflammation. Like it's the scariest thing ever to look at a burnt out brain in relation to some of these other brain states like trauma or Alzheimer's or other neurodegenerative diseases.